Thanks for joining me at Close to Death. This is Selena Roane from Fear Paranormal. I have a pretty good friend of mine that's on tonight. I've been waiting to talk to him for a little bit. Josh Hurd. He is an author, an investigator, a speaker, a rocker, and a new dad, by the way. Congratulations, Josh. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing awesome. Thanks for having me.
Hey, no problem. You got a new baby. You getting any sleep at all?
A little bit. Not as much as I got before, so.
Oh, wow. Well, you know what? I was thinking, you and Justin had your kids like days apart. I'm like, that's pretty interesting. I wonder if a paranormal investigation triggered a little love fest when y'all got home to your wives.
It very well could be.
We kind of get turned on with weird things. You know what I'm saying?
It happens. It happens.
So, and I also saw that you finally got to meet Chip Coffey, too, which was like something you wanted to do for a while.
It took forever.
Right?
It took forever for me to meet Chip, but yeah, so I'd always like a day or a week ahead of him, behind him, whatever. But yeah, finally in Gettysburg got to meet the guy. So
wow, what a cool place to meet him too, man. Gettysburg.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
How was
it was
that?
a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, that place is like crazy. It's just crazy, and I met so many cool people and had a blast at the same time. So you just can't beat it.
Yeah, no doubt. So tell the audience a little bit about you, like what you kind of are into right now.
I've got so many balls in the air. I'm just juggling constantly. But so right now, with the books and everything, we've been doing good with those. But now we've decided to take my first book and go a little bit farther and a little bit deeper into the story. And what we want to do is make a documentary out of it, and kind of retell the story. And like I said, just go way deeper into the story itself. So it should be interesting.
Yeah, so you have some secret event, and I love the haters that when you get on there and you announce at a secret location to be announced the night of, and people are like, they need to come up with some new trick. These paranormal investigators, whatever. You know what? Yeah. I even came to your defense and said there's a reason why they do that, because some idiots trespass and screw stuff up for people. So
that's what I thought too.
Location either.
I actually, because that event, just sold out this morning, I think, or yesterday, last night sometime. But I went on there and I sent an email to everybody, basically explaining why. But it's exactly what you just said. I'm like, look, you guys are the ones that bought the ticket. I don't want anybody to know where we're going, because, like you said, people just show up and they expect to be a part of something that it's like. But if you haven't gone through the motions, you haven't got a ticket or whatever, that's what it is. So.
Yeah, people like to crash and they like to try to get in for free, and you got to keep it to a minimal. So there's reasons why us paranormal investigators come up with the same crap all the time about secret locations. So get over it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it happens. They're just pissed because they didn't think about it first, so whatever.
I was like, man, whatever, dude. So, tell us a little bit about the event in Tabor, Iowa. I know it's in that city, but that's about all you.
Yeah, it's close to the city. It's not in the city necessarily. It's close to it. But yeah, basically what I wanted to do is just give other people a chance to do this. Like, I get phone calls, especially with people around this area. They know what I'm up to. They know that I'm into the paranormal, and so they're always asking me questions. I'm like, what's a better way? Like, let's just get you involved in this. And normally I would never charge anybody to go with me on an investigation, But in this particular case, I was like, we'll throw a $10 price tag on this ticket and only offer 10, but all the money is just going right back to making the film. I mean, we're actively fundraising as much as we can, so I decided maybe we could try this route too. So,
well, hey, you know what? And that's another thing that I was wanting to kind of hit on was your project, your film project, the documentary about your book. How can people get involved to help you out? Because I mean, it's going to be a really good deal. I know.
It's going to be interesting for sure. Like the main thing that I wanted to show people is, like me personally, I'll be the first to admit it. When I got into the paranormal, yes, I was young and all this, but I didn't actively start investigating until I was, until I literally sat down and was watching ghost hunters on television. I was like, oh my God, like these everyday people, these guys are plumbers and they're going out there and they're looking for ghosts. So like, this is so cool. So that's when I really, really started going after these big answers and stuff. But one thing that I've noticed that you don't necessarily see a lot of is the dangers that are involved with paranormal investigating. And it's a hard truth sometimes. Like, it's so much fun, and I love communicating with people that have passed on. I love it. But like I said, I jumped into this thing watching Ghost Hunters or whatever, and I thought I knew it all, by God, because I watched like 6 episodes. I'm good to
Yeah.
go. So we're out there, and we couldn't really afford that much equipment, but we're out there, and we, bad things happen to us, and we just bit off more than we could chew. And that's the message that I want to get to people is what happens when you find yourself in that particular situation, because it can and will eventually happen, And so I really want to drive home a specific message to people that they can really take home with them. So that's the purpose behind the movie. If people want to get involved with this movie, we have it's hatchfund.org is the crowdfunding website that we decided to go through. And yeah, if they want to go and check out the perk packages that we have set in place, so we have some cool stuff set in place. But yeah, we'll just hope for the best. I think we got like 31 days left or whatever on the. It's getting down to the wire. It's getting
always
really
stressful.
close.
You know what I'm saying? Coming up with the money is always stressful, and people are like, "Oh, Jesus Christ, here's another paranormal something, something." You know what I mean? But you got to know that this is something that could help educate people who think just like you did. I got this. I'm a pro. I can do this, and then you don't protect yourself. Probably, you probably didn't think to do that, and you go in there.
Yeah.
You go in there without a protection prayer, and booyah, something attaches to you that you cannot wash off with soap and water. And it's a little tougher than just, get off of me. And not only you, but your teammates or the people that were with you have had things happen to them because of it. So it's very important to protect yourself.
This has been going on for like the better part of a decade now. And I swear to you, like I'll wake up in the middle of the night at least 2-3 times a week with just nightmares or whatever. It's like some post-traumatic stress type thing. I don't know what it is, but it's crazy. So
yeah,
this stuff is definitely, it's definitely real. So hear my baby crying.
I hear the baby.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what happens, man. I kind of miss it when mine
Sorry,
was not talking. Oh, it's okay, man. It's great. I'm happy for you guys,
It's definitely a blessing for sure. For sure.
So tell me a little bit about the Washoe Club, because we were kind of talking about the Washoe Club. So what's up with that?
So, in doing like this film project, I hooked up with a crew from California, and they're a part of the team. They're called the Ghost Files. They do an online TV show. Young kids, young filmmakers, and all this stuff, but they're awesome guys. And they were doing this event in Virginia City, Nevada, and they're like, "You want to be a part of it?" And I was like, "Oh my God, yes, of course!" And so they're like, Bill Murphy's gonna be there, and like Amy Trimble and Debbie and Mark Constantino. Like, I'm so ecstatic to meet these people. Like, it'll be an experience for sure. So.
Yeah, Debbie and Mark they were on my show not too long ago, probably about a month and a half, 2 months ago. And they shared a lot of 2 or 3 EVPs with us, and they were really, really good. And I know that they're like EVPs, because there's no experts, so I guess specialists, because that's what they specialize in. But man, they got some really cool stuff from there, and not only that, but Don Gomez and Haunted Entertainment actually is going to be there in May doing Tombstone.
Oh,
So,
nice.
oh
Nice.
yeah, and I've been like really bugging on her ear, like I really want to go to that. You know what I mean? But she's like, yeah, we already have two mediums. I'm like, I'm not a medium. I'm an empath. It's totally different.
Yep,
I
yep.
mean, it's sort of kind of a little bit the same, but not quite.
Yeah,
Uh,
not.
so have you been doing any speaking engagements or anything like that lately, or?
I talk as much as I possibly can. Like, sometimes it's hard to shut me up, I think. But no, I haven't done a lecture. It's been a little while anyway. So I'm really looking forward to Virginia City. Kind of give me a chance to test out some new stuff on an audience now. So that'll be fun.
I'm trying to get up north. I mean, I've done like East Texas, and I've done like Fort Worth area, and I've done what else? Where else did I speak? Hell, I can't even remember now. Two in East Texas, I guess. So I've kind of got the East Texas and West Texas thing. I just need to start going north, you know.
So I'm like, you just got home, didn't you?
Yeah, I just actually it was a really busy freaking day yesterday. It was like all day long at the Paracon from 8 o'clock to freaking 5, and then I spoke from like 11 to, I guess I was probably over an hour, but it was standing room only. They have a really nice setup in Grand Prairie, though. I mean, really nice. I got to meet Dean Haglund from the X-Files. Me and my best friend that I lost, Kenny, we used to watch X-Files all the time, you know, and I go up and I meet Dean, and I said, yeah, I used to watch your show all the time. I said, I have to admit, though, it's because my best friend Kenny had the hots for David Duchovny. You know what I mean? I don't really remember a whole lot of the plot because all he could do is sit there, you know, and drool over things. So I said, you know what, though, Jillian wasn't too bad to look at, so it was bearable to watch. You know what I mean?
That's very true.
He kind of thought it was funny.
I love it.
Yeah, Granbury was really cool. Now, me, you, and Justin have been trying to get together for, oh my God. It's like been
like 6 months at least. I know, it's terrible, isn't it? Oh, it seems like we're all three kind of like going in separate directions at the same time. It's tough.
I know.
So, one day soon we're going to get there, girl, I swear. It'll be fun.
So your first book was about your experience, and that's what you're doing the documentary on, right?
Yep. It'll
about
be
your second book. Tell us about both of them, actually, because some people may not be familiar.
Yeah, the first book is called When Ghost Hunting Goes Wrong, A Brush with Evil. And, you know, that's basically kind of like what got me into the paranormal initially, and, you know, then kind of the path leading up to the experience at that church. I mean, it was a freaking church of all places, which is just bizarre. But so it's kind of, you know, going through that story. The next book was so much fun to write. It was it's called Haunting the Hunters, and basically all it is there's always these locations that seem to like call out to us as investigators. You know, they stick with us a little more for whatever reason that may be. And I mean, even with the chapel, that church that we were at, you know, some of the most horrible things have happened to people that I know and people I love and care about a lot. And I sat there and I watched it happen. So why do I keep going back? Why do I always have this urge to go back? And, you know, like the Villisca Axe Murder House, that's another one that I talk about a lot in the book. And it's like, why is it that we keep going back to these locations in particular? And it's just like, what you come up with at the end of the day is like, you know, no matter how bad of an experience it was, that's damn near as close as you've got to really interacting and communicating, no matter how bad it was, with the other side. You know, and I think that's something that's definitely a draw for us, especially people that are passionate about investigating and really after that, the answers, you know?
Yeah.
The what really happens to us when we expire, when we die.
Right.
So that's something we're all after.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, if we always kind of joke around and say, well, I have a list of people that I'm going to jack with when I do cross, when I do pass. And not only am I going to do that, but instead of walking around everywhere, I think I'll just fly. You know what I mean? I'll just float everywhere.
Absolutely.
And I mean, I would love to know how that all works. I really would. I would like to be. I mean, the empath part of my thing is like I can feel something in the room, but I can't really know if it's like male or female because I'm not quite there yet. I guess.
Right.
Right. But I would like sometimes to see so that I can actually see a figure from the other side to know. Because you've heard there's no gender when you pass away.
Exactly. I've heard that.
But yet, when mediums or psychics see things, they're like, well, it's a lady in a dress or it's a dude in period clothing. So they might not have sex in heaven. Now, that to me is kind of missing a little bit of the slice of heaven if they don't.
Yeah, I was going to say, my heaven completely different. Just saying.
I know. See, that's exactly me too. I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound quite like heaven's the one in my head.
Love it.
Why does that have to stop? You know what I mean?
Right,
Damn, we're already dead. Come on.
Give us something here. Come on.
Yeah. But I would love to be able to see, that tangible, figure that, I saw the doppelganger of my best friend Kenny, and that right there will do wonders for your passion in paranormal. I'm talking about driving it into overdrive. I wanted to know how the hell that happened. I still want to know how the hell that happened. And I mean, I sat there, it scared the hell out of me when it happened, but after it happened, I sat and stared at the door for like an hour and a half going, come back. And
exactly.
How crazy is that? Something that scares the shit out of me.
That's the investigator in you, though. That's the investigator in you. You want more.
Please come back. And you can even talk to me when you come back. But like you were saying about the Villisca Axe Murder House, when you go there and that's your draw, luckily you live close enough to that place, because if I did live closer, I could understand, because when I was there and we were doing a remote with a medium, and we were having what we believed to be contact with 3 of the little children that were hiding in the closet because they were scared of the entity in the attic.
Exactly.
That's keeping them there. Okay. So I think we're pretty point on to what you were getting. So we're sitting there in the kids' room, and we're trying to get them to roll a ball back and forth. And I look up, and I see this like head pop around outside of the attic, and I went, okay, I didn't see that. I'm not going to say anything. I didn't see that. Well, it did it again. And the empath in me got pissed. The mother bear came out, and I went nuts on it. Get your ass out here and do something to me. I don't know if I was like channeling a little bit of Brad Kling when I was screaming, but I was like, get out here. Do something to me, chicken shit. And I was completely going off. And that, I want to help those children so badly, to cross over. And I don't know how to do that. I'm not equipped for that or whatever. I don't have that capability, but it's so sad to me that entity can hold them in that horrible, like cycle of just being stuck there in the place they died. And it was such a horrific death. What about it is the draw for you? Is it also the children, or?
It is mostly the children, yes, because before I started this whole author lecturer gig, I worked at a school. And so I have this draw to children, where I want to help them. I want, it's just like with my daughters, I want to be there and I want to help. And it's heartbreaking when you can't and you don't necessarily know how to help. Well, then you kick that into overdrive with Villisca, because the most horrific thing happened to them. It's like, for God's sake, they were sleeping,
Yeah.
They were asleep. And it's just a very weird feeling, because it's like the house itself has a freaking mood of its own. And you can feel it. You can feel the shift. And, like you said, you're an empath. I've been told the same about myself. However, I'm not like like most empaths or whatever, I'm like baby stepping it apparently, because yes, I can walk into a room and for whatever reason, I'll admit it, I'll just start crying for no reason. I have no idea where to go from there. You know what I'm saying? So I'll just let that happen. But for whatever reason, I'm sad, you know? And it's the same type of situation at Villisca. It's like 1 second you're sad, and an hour later you're just pissed for no reason. You don't know why, but you're pissed. And it's a bizarre little roller coaster to go on. But I always try to keep the investigator side of me as present as possible, and just be like, try to shake everything off and put it to the back burner as much as possible. So
yeah, it wasn't.
Like I said, I'm just baby stepping it.
Yeah, it wasn't easy for me there. And see, this was before I even was told. You know, I went to a psychic because my aunt paid for it, and I didn't even know what the hell I was at that point. I just thought I was nuts. You know what I'm saying? Just plain crazy. And I went in there and you could feel the heavy crap the minute you walk in the freaking back door. And me and Penny are up on right there by the parents' bed. And we were doing trying to do an EVP session, and she's standing by the dresser facing me, and I'm standing right by the stairs facing her, and all of a sudden we hear footsteps coming up the steps, and we both look at each other, and I'm like, look, we got nowhere to go. There's a window that way, I'm going to, and you can go out this one.
Go out the
You can't
other
go down the stairs because they're like this big. But
yeah,
you know, we had
small.
the heavy. Right when you walk in, we got contact with the little girls downstairs. Right when we walked in, the poor little girls that stayed overnight on the wrong night to sleep over.
No kidding, right? Like, just horrible.
What do you think? What I was, and I'm not saying I'm a medium. I was just kind of picking this up from just research, and then that kind of, it doesn't make sense how one person, because when you walk in that house, you can hear every freaking footstep. Okay?
Yes.
The furniture shakes, the kitchen shakes. I mean, everything shakes. And I'm not saying I'm 400-pound, big girl. I'm just saying the house is so small, you can hear a footstep without a problem. How in the hell did one person do all that? I just can't see it without him drugging them or it being 2 or more people.
I tell you what, it's odd about that, because I've had many thoughts about that, and one of the biggest ones that I've come up with is, the train tracks run really close to the house, and a few times a night you'll hear the train roll through. Well, the first time I was there, it was odd because we would get more activity while the train was coming through town. Now, I'm not saying this is the way it went down. I was just saying this may be another avenue or possibility that the killer or killers, because I'll get to that in a second, use that cover, that sound cover, to go through, take care of business probably as quickly and efficiently as they possibly could, using the noise of the train to get their job done. Now, right at the top of the steps, they have, or they had, a little table. Now it's been replaced by a rocking chair, but I set a camera on this little table, and it was facing down the hallway. So you had that little attic door, which would have been on the left-hand side of the screen and facing into the kids' room. And what's odd is, you can hear us downstairs kind of laughing and joking around, and nobody was upstairs by any means, but the door swings open the whole way, not fast by any means, it just swings open. And then you see, 3, it was definitely 3, squiggly disturbances. That's all I can, and it went 1, 2, 3 out the door, and then it waited for, it was at least a couple minutes, and then 1, 2, 3 of the same little squiggly things back into the door, and then the door closes behind it. Not hard, because we didn't hear this, and like you said, you can hear anything in that house.
Oh yeah.
We heard absolutely nothing from that door, from that attic door at the time. So it's weird that you say killers, because I've always thought, how could one dude do all of this?
I just don't buy it.
No, I don't either. And some of the EVPs that we've collected would suggest that there was definitely more than one. There was There's one, and I'm just going to warn you right now. Like, this is disturbing. It's disgusting, and I hate even talking about it, but it's relevant. This one APP was of a definitely a male voice talking to another person, and it said, "Relax. It's just like killing a hog." I mean, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. But at the same time, maybe some relevance there as well. I don't know.
When we were there, we were all talking. It was me and Penny and Joe and a couple from Nicole and them from Stockton, and we all met there. Two different teams, two different ways to investigate, things like that. And we were sitting there going over some of the stuff that they have in the barn, reading over, things that have happened and newspaper clippings and things like that. Now, I'm thinking, and what our theory was at the end of the day was, or the end of the investigation, was that a bad business deal from the father of the owner of the house, Mr. Moore, I believe it is, went pretty much awry, and he pissed somebody off, and they came to get revenge. And that. I think it was more than one person, and one of them had to have some sort of morals about them, or not morals, but a conscience, because they covered up the mirrors. And that's one thing when I went off on the shadow person, I'm like, you fucking coward. I go, you cover up mirrors because you knew what you did was shitty. You know what I mean? You hurt little kids. I go, how did you do that? And they were just coming home from church. Come on, man. How much more evil can you be?
It's weird.
And,
it's so weird.
And that's what I'm thinking is that, a bad business deal went wrong, and because he was into business everywhere in town, from
he sold implements, farm implements, and what's odd about that is, his direct competition was literally right across the street. And they were right there on the town square, and that's where his competition was. And so people kind of looked towards him as well, like, did he maybe possibly have something to do with this? I mean, God, they had so many suspects with the whole deal. It's just bizarre. And nobody was caught,
Well, I mean, even with the confession, from the weirdo, like, peekaboo reverend who used to, like, what did they tell me? I think Johnny said that she, the peekaboo reverend tried to get a secretary or something, and the qualifications was she had to work in the nude.
Yep,
and I'm like, a reverend? I go, wow. Don't worry about little boys. He's got a secretary.
It's weird. It's just weird because, like you said, he was a peeping Tom, and he even confessed. He confessed.
Yeah.
And they were just like, okay, the dude's a total whack job. Probably didn't do it. It's like, but shit,
he just wants free meals. He just wants free meals. Just look how little he couldn't swing that axe like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he was like tiny dude. I mean, I don't even know if he was involved in it. Maybe he just, like like I said, maybe he just was sick of being a reverend and just wanted to go to jail. I don't know, but I don't think it was one person. But that whole place, and I know Debbie and Mark are going to be there in August too with Chris Dedman. I don't know if you're going to hop in there on that one, but
I'm going to try.
Working on that one. So yeah, they're supposed to go up there. I can't wait to see what kind of EVPs that they get from the place, because there's no way you can't get a photo or some experience, even if you don't get an EVP, some experience at that place, then something's definitely wrong. And there's a lot of people bitching and griping about how they're glorifying and using the murders as this, that, and the other, and it's not about that. Not for everyone.
Right.
I have a draw to the children because I'm a mother myself, and I feel horrible that they had to die in such a way. I mean, the blunt end of an axe.
Yeah, I mean, it's inhumane even. If you think about it, it's like the father was the only one killed with the sharp edge of the axe. Everybody else was, like you said, bludgeoned. I mean, just, it's disturbing.
And talk about screwing up a crime scene, boy. Woo, they messed it up.
Everybody and their dog walked through that house before before anybody showed up. So
yeah,
important.
So I ask everybody on here, and I know that Villisca is going to be your top place that you want to go, but give me a couple other places that you've been that maybe people aren't very familiar with, and tell us a little bit about the experiences there.
Let's see. A couple other places that I've been. Yeah, most people wouldn't know. I mean, there's been a lot of like private residences that I've been involved in where some definite spooky crap's gone down, and you're just like, what the hell? The Thomas House, which is in Tennessee. If you guys get a chance to go to the Thomas House, like check that out. Like, there's something going on in that place, and it's massive. Like, it's huge, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So
when did you get to investigate that? Were you at a conference or something?
It was. I'm gonna move a little bit here. It was one of Chad Kalich's events that he did, that he put on, and so we got to go. My wife and I got to go, and it was so much fun. It was so much fun. But oh my God, like there was just weird. Like, I mean, Chad, he likes to provoke, and kind of try to piss some stuff off, and I'm not necessarily all about that. So I was just letting him take the reins, and he was doing his thing, and said, I'm going to count down from 3, and when I hit 0, that's when I want you to really do something. I'm not even lying. When he hit 0, it looked like the entire wall shifted, like boom. And it scared the holy hell out of me. I mean, it even made him jump, and I was like, I need to go outside. You freaking just take a second. Because I was like, damn, man, like you don't ever see anything like that. It was just bizarre. And then, one of the most obviously active places was that chapel that I wrote the first book about. I mean, that place is just jacked up from start to finish. I mean, they used to hang people on the property. I mean, and there's a cemetery like literally 20 feet away from the structure itself. There's this big cemetery. It's just, god dang. The whole land is just bizarre. You pull up to this place and you're freaked already before you even get out of the car. So it's interesting. It's a different feeling, that's for sure. It's definitely a different feeling.
Iowa, right?
That's in northwestern Missouri, actually.
What is it about Missouri? That is like
right? Exactly.
Crazy state for any type of activity. And I know because Kim and them are from St. Louis, and they're like, Missouri is just like, woo!
It's jacked.
Crazy, crazy haunted, and that's where I'm actually going. I'm taking a group of 11. Well, there's 12 of us total. We're going up to Carthage, Missouri, and we're going to stay in the John Wise Mansion for 2 nights. And we're going to go to the Carthage Opera House and the Kendrick House.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
Oh, yeah. And then during the day, on Saturday, we're supposed to do a mini tour investigation of the Galena Murder Bordello, where we did the DVD.
Oh, my God.
It's the whole weekend is nothing but paranormal. I mean, it's like a paranormal palooza, you know what I'm saying?
It's a paranormal buffet, baby. I wanted
to ask you, have you ever been to New Orleans before?
No, not yet. I'm working on something right now, and I don't want to jinx it. I want this to work so much, because I've just started, doing these paranormal events and things like that. That this is so new to me, doing all this stuff. But my God, I'm having so much fun, doing it and hosting it, and meeting all these new people. I freaking love it. So yeah. I always try to pick a location that I've never been to. That way, whoever comes to this, we can all experience this place at the exact same time for the first time together, and we can all share in this big experience together. So I just put together another event, and it's in Rib Lake, Wisconsin. And everybody's like, where the fuck is Rib Lake, Wisconsin? And I'm like, right? Exactly. I'm like, this is like, if all these stories, if half of these stories are true, this is like the most paranormal location that you've never heard of before. And so it's bizarre. Like, there's this campground, and like, you're here camping, then literally an inch away from the campground is a gigantic cemetery. And then on the other side of the campground is a lake. So they have these ghosts apparently that walk through the cemetery and like scream and moan and will dick around with your tents and campers and things like that. But then you've got the lake on the other side where there's countless numbers of like UFO sightings and even like abduction cases apparently. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, we're going to have our hands full for like 2 days. I'm like, this is going to be a blast. But like I said, nobody's ever heard of it. And as far as I go as like an author, lecturer, paranormal guy, like nobody really knows who the hell I am right now. So I don't necessarily have a big platform to stand on. So I try to beef it up as much as I possibly can. So I'm like, you know what? Screw it. If you want to come to the camp out, you go to like eventbrite.com to get your tickets, and that's fine. But on top of all of the camping and the hiking and the paranormal palooza, like he said, we're gonna do like some campfire stories and all that fun stuff, obviously. But I went ahead and I took care of the camping fees for everybody. Went ahead and that. I'm also going to provide like 3 complimentary meals, for everybody while they're there. And then I'm also going to give them a free copy of my book that's not even going to hit the shelves until 2 months later. So I'm trying like so hard to like beef it up as much as I can. So we'll hopefully get some people out there.
We all got to start somewhere, Luckily, Brad and Barry helped me get started with the DVD and helped me. I found my passion before that, but it just kind of helped me along. And then meeting Chip was like a complete blessing to my life.
Absolutely.
He's been amazing. Seriously, he has, and I feel so blessed to have them have introduced us. My life has completely changed. Like when I was, and it's all thanks to the paranormal. And it took me 40 some odd years to get my shit together and figure out what my thing was, what my passion was, because I was just pretty much going through the motions, man, working every day and hating it. And, the paycheck was like, not that we get paid for this shit, but you know what? I enjoy it. I love, I've done 3 speaking engagements, and I have gotten better each time, of course, but now I'm like, bring it on. I want to do more, you know what I mean? But you got to start somewhere, get your name out there, So
yeah, I'm trying to just do as much as I possibly can, and just get in front of as many people as possible. So
exactly right.
That's what I'm up to.
And a little bit about getting in front of people too. Tell us a little bit about your band.
Oh my gosh, man! Yeah, that's another thing, right? Is like I said, I got a lot of balls in the air. So it's pretty much every weekend I have a gig somewhere. Usually around like Omaha, Nebraska area, and it's just me, and I sing, I play guitar, and then it's my friend Brad, and he plays percussion, and he sings, and that's it. But we play everything, and I mean everything. Like, you want to hear Garth Brooks, we'll play Garth Brooks. But if you want to hear like Tool or Stained or anything like that, 9 Inch Nails, we got that covered too. So it's whatever people want to hear. We just try to judge the crowd as we go along throughout the night. So we have a lot of fun though.
You could be kind of like a Keith Ramsey from Deep South Paranormal and do your little investigations and rock out at the end of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Like, man.
Have you
it's
met
like
those
I'm too
guys
damn
yet?
tired. I haven't met them yet. No.
Oh, dude.
No.
I haven't met Benny and Jonathan and Hart yet, but I'm their special guest for the deal at Andrew Jackson in June. And because I'm the equipment woman with the Ghost Hunter Storm Paranologies, they're teaming me up with the Gree Stick Man, Mr. Hart. You know, come to the bell, and I'm like,
yeah,
that ought to be a pretty interesting match.
You know, they were running around in Gettysburg when we were there. You know, but my God, man, like they're 100 miles an hour like all the time. So I was like, finding a second to talk to them was impossible. So
yeah,
they seem like a lot of fun. So
let me tell you, Randy and Kevin. I met Kevin at the Myrtles actually when the Kling brothers and Chip, they had Chip there back in January. And I met Kevin and Chris Melanson, who's the guy that runs the NOLA Ghost Tours. They were at the Myrtles saying hey to Chip, and I met them. And I hit it off immediately, of course, with them. And it was like, oh, they're so cool. And then at Tyler Paracon, which you've got to try to come to next year. Oh, my God, or next time.
I'd love to.
Well, we had a freaking blast. But at Tyler Paracon, I got to meet Randy Hardy, which he's the one who usually gets hooked up with Hart when they go to investigate, or he goes off by himself. Randy and I are like freaking, I don't know, two peas in a pod. We're kindred spirits, like twins separated at birth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, from being afraid of spiders to the way we think about religion. And I mean, it was so weird. He goes, I can't believe you so much like me and you ain't never been to New Orleans. I'm like, never been to New Orleans. So they're going to treat me right when I go to New Orleans. I cannot
I bet they will.
Yeah.
It'll be great. It'll be so fun though.
I know. So are you going to the what is it, the Delta fundraiser that they're having in Mississippi? Have you heard about that one yet?
I've heard about it. I don't know yet if I'm gonna be able to go yet or not. So I would like to. For sure.
All right, now what is all this stuff that you're posting about making all this mad freaking money, man? I want to know how you're making all this mad freaking money.
If I was making mad money, like I wouldn't be begging for it on Hack Fun.
You'd have your film project like on top.
Oh, I would have it golden ready to go. But yeah, I'm certainly making enough to get the bills paid. So I mean that helps. Yeah, it's just a all natural supplement that I'm taking, and it basically, the one thing that I've noticed is it keeps me up as far as the late night ghost stuff. So that's
and
what.
The baby.
That's, yeah.
You're probably dumping up on shakes now, like.
Oh my God! Just give me another one, and another one, and another one. Yeah,
that's great.
It's a lot of fun. So, like I said, I got so much junk going on right now.
I know.
So
I
just trying to make
really
sense.
wait. I kind of wanted to somehow in the near future get with you and Justin and do some filming up there for our little Paravengers thing that he's already busted out with. So I guess I'm not quote unquote confidentiality thing going on anymore. But,
I think the cat's out the bag.
Yeah, I think it is. But yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Justin Spurrier, who used to go by Justin Rear Ups for whatever weird reason.
It's Spurrier backwards. It's Spurrier backwards. Yeah.
I know, but I was like, what? Okay. So Josh and Justin and I and a couple of other folks were going to do this project, and we're still going to do it in the future. And I can't really go into more details than just telling you that it's going to be cool. And it'll be called Paravengers, which he's already started marketing the hell out of. I've seen his T-shirts. I'm like, damn, where's my T-shirt, man? What's up with that?
Crazy stuff.
I know.
Crazy stuff.
So we're almost.
Yeah, once we actually get together, it'll be fun.
Oh, I know. Because we've got some of the videos, like the one of him, like the ghost fart. That was pretty funny. Like when he blew you away silently, and you go, seriously, dude?
I was like, what are you doing? Like, I was like, man. I was like changing out batteries. I was just changing batteries, and he was like, shh.
Yeah.
And then he freaking blast ass right in my direction. I was like, what? Whatever.
That's what we call paranormal poops, unless it's a freaking bomb. And then
Yeah,
you know,
right.
but I met Justin actually through Chip Coffee. The week we were filming this stuff, and we hung out quite a bit. And of course, I don't know what it is about me, but I hit it off with people pretty good most times. It's very rare that I meet somebody that I just can't even stand to even be near. But he was so funny, and I think me, him, and Chip laughed so flipping hard, making gay innuendos or what the hell ever, you know what I mean? And I kept telling Justin he'd be a pretty drag queen, and he was like, we're not going to go there.
You're so pretty. You're just so pretty.
Well, we're almost to the end of the show, but I wanted to give you an opportunity to tell everybody how they can find you on Facebook and get your
Okay, cool. On Facebook, you guys can find me. Just search Josh Hurd or Josh Hurd 1981. You can find me there. And my books are everywhere as far as like they're on Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com. The iBookstore carries them as well. But yeah, they're all over the place. So, and if you guys wanted to contribute to the movie, it's just go to hatchfund.org and search When Ghost Hunting Goes Wrong. Search that, and God, what else? Oh yeah, the camp out.
Yeah.
The camp out in Wisconsin. Yeah, that's through eventbrite.com. It's just Josh Hurd's Paranormal Campout, because I'm real original with all my titles. So.
That's a catchy one, buddy. No, I was going to show you before we signed off. You said something about getting your name out there. Well, I got a little surprise. Brandy at the Granbury Paranormal had, I've never thought I would see this, my face on a wine bottle.
That is amazing.
Yeah, so at the Granbury Paranormal Expo, you could have went to their little wine deal in Granbury, and for $14.99, you get to pick out your wine, and then they put this little lovely label of me, Dean Haglin, and I cannot remember this lady's name. I suck so hard. Janice Oberdeen. Why can't I remember that? I can remember Engelbert Humperdinck. Why can't I remember Oberdeen? But no, this is something that I'm like, somebody said, are you going to drink it? I'm like, I don't drink wine or whatever.
Yeah.
Why would I want to do that, man? I mean, I made it on a wine bottle.
I'm going to do that. I want to put myself and just pass out booze instead of business cards. I'm just going to start passing booze.
They'll be like, I love you, Josh, by the end of the night.
I couldn't sell enough freaking books. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I really appreciate you being on my show tonight, man.
Oh, thank you so much for having me again. I love it. I love it.
You're very welcome, and give that baby some loving and all your girls.
Yeah.
And we need some more pictures of the baby now.
Yeah, and I'll get on that. I'll get on that.
Yeah. Well, you have a good week, man, and I'll talk to you soon.
You do the same. Thank you again.
You're welcome. See you later.
Bye.
All right, that was Josh Hurd. I hope y'all enjoyed that. He's a good friend of mine. We have a lot of fun together, and I cannot wait until we actually get together to do some investigating. That's been kind of hard for us to get together for scheduling purposes, I suppose. But I have just one event, really, that I need to talk about that's anytime soon. It's June 27th. And it's the event in New Orleans at the Andrew Jackson Hotel. Now, they were sold out when Chris Melanson was on my show, but something happened and 2 tickets became available, so y'all need to jump on those, because for $250, you get 2 people to go, and you get a room, you get breakfast, and the investigation with the Deep South Paranormal guys. And like I said, there's 2 tickets left, so first come, first serve, and you can find those on my wall, on my Facebook wall. Then there's Phantom Fest. It's coming up September 27th. That should be an amazing event. Chip Coffey's going to be there, and a few other people that I'm not allowed to announce right now until they're officially announced by the I guess, the event planner for Phantom Fest. There's also going to be a fundraiser in Mississippi in October that's going to be pretty cool. We're going to be there with, of course, I'm the Ghost Hunter store and Paranology's rep, so we'll be there. So if y'all need anything paranormal equipment wise, you can always look me up on Facebook and send me a message, and I'll hook you up with anything Ghost Hunter store and Paranology's. Also, check out Miss Hattie's Place on Facebook. That's an amazing place to go. The lady that owns it is a sweetheart. It's in Belton, Texas. Investigations are very reasonable, and dates are open, so you need to go check it out. I got one of the best EVPs I've ever gotten from that place, so I highly recommend it. Just a little shout out to my sponsors, Syntex Roof Systems in Waco. Tony Lenore and his crew will hook you guys up. They do a lot more than just roofs. They build all kinds of buildings and metal buildings to wood buildings to decks to whatever you need done. They do it. Check them out. And then my other sponsor is NOLA Ghost Tours, Ghost Hunting Tours, which is in New Orleans. Chris Melanson and Kevin Betzer and Randy Hardy are all going to be hosting the tours there, so you need to check them out if you're ever in New Orleans. Next week, I'll have Lisa Livingston Martin on my show, author, paranormal investigator, and the host of PSL, which is on before my show. And other than that, wish everybody a good Sunday evening and a great week, and I'll see you next week. Peace out.